This is no extractable data. And Sister Lloyd, is this card in the right place?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was a coat of arms or if it belongs here. Anyway, when you see a card like that, I think it's a map. It's just an address. Yeah, it's just an address, and it's saying to see that address on another plate. So this would definitely be a no extractable data. These cards. Brian tried really hard to get HSP to take these cards out, and they didn't want to. So I asked him, these are horrible cards to do, because if you break them out, each title out, you have to decide what description goes with what title. And you would think that'd be easy till you start doing it, then you realize you don't know. So I asked him, can we just use the word or between all of them? And he said yes, which I was ecstatic about. So you just list the first one, you say or, come down to historical sketch, and put or, and then go to illustrate combination, and or, and then illustrate atlas. So that will save a lot of time on these cards. There's still a lot of typing you need to do. You need to type the numbered items at the bottom, but it will still save a lot of time. And this is all the call number here in the upper left. And the numbers on the very, very bottom, like all the other cards, we just ignore that. On continuation cards, when you have a card that's continued, last time, if we had a card in our last card and it was continued, we went to the next batch, and some of you went for 3, 4, 5 cards and found the second card. We're not going to do that this time. If it isn't right after the card, don't worry about it. It'll be indexed at some point. Does that answer your question, Sister Carruthers?
Yes, thank you, Sister Nan.
Let's see, I'm sorry, I wasn't watching the notes. Is Ivy putting a page number? And it's this card here. No, I would just put all of that in additional text. The ID, the code, and the map.
That's actually 1V, is it not?
Yes, 1V. Yes. Oh, actually, that's one volume. But that's different than a volume number. So it would go in the additional text. Sister Baker, where does finding aid available go? I'm not sure what. Oh, it's already been answered. Description and additional text. Right here, finding aid available. That would also go in description or additional text. It can go in either one.
So are you asking what a finding aid is? It's what a librarian would create once they get familiar with it to help other people have sort of a roadmap to get to the items.
Thank you for letting us know that. Appreciate that. So yeah, just additional text, just kind of added information there. Now we can go on to fire insurance. And here we're going to create a record for each policy number and policy holder. When you see the word void, you can treat it as a cancellation date. So probably the trickiest thing on this is just paying attention to what date goes where. And this is a good card where you have two policy numbers. You have 309 and 311. It's the whole number, 6146-309, 6147-311. The description on the top goes with 309. The description on the bottom goes with 311. which makes the difference. So you put everything in, and and then you'd make a second one for the second policy number. Excuse me. So on these cards, you'll see an insured's name with ETUX after it. That means and wife. If you are a super overachiever and you want to do a card for Mrs. Albert Nunez, be my guest, but you do not have to do that. You can just put down an additional text and wife. Here we have a transfer date, so that goes in the additional date field. It's not a cancellation, it's not a survey. It's a transfer date. Additional text, I have no idea. We don't know what this number is, so just put it in additional text. And then you can also put canceled in the additional text. The address on these cards is number 312 West Allen Lane. That's where it ends. The description starts on southeast corner, 159 feet. Now, we cannot use apostrophe, so you're going to have to type feet out. In southwestern center of Lincoln Drive. Now, Mount Airy, Philadelphia. Mount Airy is a city. Philadelphia is the county. We figured that out the other day. Mount Airy is part of Philadelphia, so I was putting that Mount Airy, comma Philadelphia, like we have on other cards, and realized that I was wrong. Corporate names. You have to be kind of careful with the corporate name. On this one, we have George Woodward, Inc. Since we have a person's name, we're going to put George Woodward as the policyholder's given name and surname. And then in additional text, we will put George Woodward, Inc. And that's because there's a whole person's name there. If I had Woodward, Inc., we'd probably just put Woodward, Inc. down in additional text. Philadelphia Contribution Ship is the insurance company. And actually, this is papers. Philadelphia Contribution Ship papers, or you'll see it without the word papers. We also have an address, and then we have this residence garage. That isn't a description. It's just saying that, hey, the resident lives in the garage. So this card isn't going to have a whole lot. You'll have the company. You'll have the policy number. You'll have the holders given in the surname. You'll have an address. Now, there is no city on this, so we can put Philadelphia, Pennsylvania as a city, county, and state. And that's going to be hard to remember. You're probably going to have to look at the field help every time you put in a town and see what it says. The insurance companies are in the drop-down list, and there's two. I think there's not very many, and so you'll be able to find them there. This is George Craig's two houses. Yes, he's the insured. we're going to assume he's insured, that he's living there. Again, make sure you don't put apostrophes, Miss Craig. Got a question? So make sure you take those apostrophes out. I don't think there was much else on that card. Dates, again, you're going to have to watch and make sure what date goes with what. This one here, the policy number is down at the bottom after Philadelphia contribution chip. It's 13400. And we're going to use the date 1907 as a survey date. Mainly because it's talking about the description and who it's owned by. This date, we're not sure what it is. So we're going to, probably the creation date, but I don't know. The creation of the insurance. That will go in additional text. I wish I could open the program and show you these. Description is talking about the 10 feet or the 159 feet. Make sure you spell it out. The location talks about the different things you can do with each of those. And you'll see the same card over and over again. And I apologize for that. So most of these cards we've already talked about. When you can't see everything like this here, after you do these cards, you'll know what that word is, but you really can't read it. We cannot use asterisk or a question mark. Well, we could use question mark, but not an asterisk. So he said just leave a space. So when you type it in, you'll see an additional text here. I put SAN space N. And when you have a card like this, that this dwelling was originally insured under, you go ahead and do this card. Use that as the number, and you've got a cancellation date. This is 7/18/55. I assume it's 1955, but I don't know. So there's nothing on this card to suggest what year it is. So just put the 2 digits.
What is that word,
yes.
that N? I haven't heard it.
It is, Sister Lois, can you remember what it is?
No, I can't. That's why I'm asking you.
I'm thinking it's Sandburn. Sorry, Colorado, I think it's Sandburn.
Yeah, it has E, whatever it means. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know if it's a name. I honestly don't know what it is. It's just that it says Sandburn, then you'll see the volume of the page. Again, this is the survey date and the cancellation date. And then we do coat of arms. Now this I can show you, so I'm going to skip down to, well, let's talk about this because I don't know about what kind of cards I would pull up. This is an example of a coat of arms, and we're going to create a section for each book and section entry, a publication title. So the publication titles are these with the letters, and books are those that are written out. So on this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries that we will do. So the first is a coat of arms. There is no title here. The name is Eli. The publication, all you have to do is type the letter in, and it will give you all this other information. The volume is I, and the page is 39. You'll also notice for for the majority of the cards, not every